Welcome everyone to Charts Focus 1, where we teach you how to work hard and trade smart. In this live stream recap video, I want to go over 3 amazing trades that we executed in the CFO Discord. 2 were SPY day trades, and 1 was an amazing Amazon swing trade. Alright, so let's take a look at the swing trade first. So on Amazon, we got our entry for our swing trade on Monday, which was yesterday at this time of this recording. Now, you guys might be wondering, why did I enter on Monday? Because it looks like you guys are just chasing here after the larger move upwards from last week. Well, first of all, the reason why I entered on Monday is that we started to form a very nice consolidation phase, which allowed us to have an inside day candlestick on the daily time frame. All right, but before I delve more into that, I want to go over my 10 and my 21 SMAs. Now, if you guys remember from my previous videos, and if you guys have been with Charts Focus 1 for a long time, you guys know that the 10 and 21 SMAs is my momentum pair SMA. And so whenever we get the price retesting, remounting, and then holding above the 10 SMA, we tend to get a retest of the 21 SMA next. And that tends to happen if the price continues to consolidate between the 10 and 21. And guess what? That's what we got today. All right. And we saw that retest on the 21 SMA right after market open. So on the 10 and 21 SMAs, all right, we've been using these two SMAs, these two momentum pair, as a level of resistance. So whenever we decide to retest it and then remount and hold above specifically the 10 SMA first, we tend to get a nice impulsive reaction to the upside, and we see a more momentum coming in for buyers, right? And that allows us to retest the 21 SMA next. And that was basically my thought process on the technical analysis of Amazon on the daily time frame. However, I want to go more into detail on this swing trade. So if you guys go down to the 15-minute time frame, okay, now you guys know I love my 15-minute time frame. I was looking at this very, very strong area of support that was forming about 2 hours into market open. And fortunately, I was able to take this trade before lunchtime started on Wall Street, which I'll get into more with the showing of my actual trade with the actual timestamp from the CFO Discord. But before I delve into that as well, Amazon here was just holding this 97.85 level of support really, really well. Or if you guys want to round up to make things simple, 98 is the level of support here. So as we start to form this very, very strong support area, I also noticed that we had a very messy resistance level. And this resistance level was at 98.85. Now, just like we did for the support here, we can round up the 98.85 level of resistance to 99 for simplicity. So as I was seeing the price just move up and down between these two levels, I also noticed that the 50 SMA here, now, if you guys have been watching me for a long time, the 50 SMA is a very, very hard level of momentum support on the 15-minute time frame. Now, as the 50 SMA has ultimately caught up to the price after the impulsive breakout higher on last week's Thursday and Friday's candlestick, okay, the 50 SMA just started to coil within the price range that was made between the support here and resistance. So here is when I got in. So at 8:50 a.m., I sent in a trade here. Amazon $104 strike calls expiring on November 18th. Okay, so that is a weekly expiring contract because I like the intraday price action. So at 8:50, where did I get in then? All right, so let's go even deeper into the time frames. So 8:50 was on this candlestick, right? And obviously, you guys might be wondering, wait a second, Andrew, you said 8:50, right? So 8:50 is not showing a candlestick that's breaking to the upside. So why wouldn't you wait until you see an actual confirmation breakout above 98.85 or at least $99? Well, simply because I knew my risks and I just want to have an earlier entry. Right? So my entry was around 98.60 to 0.61. That's where I got filled in. And luckily for me, we started to push up higher right after that, right? And we saw a breakout above $99. However, okay, as we continue to move up higher, all right, we saw a little bit of a flush to the downside on this candlestick. Okay, so I'm not going to ignore this candlestick here because I was looking at the intraday time frames when I was in this trade. So Amazon here, we decided to not hold 98.85 again on the retest right after the breakout. So that got me a little bit weary. However, I wasn't looking at the 5-minute time frame. I was looking at the 15-minute time frame right after my entry. And on the 15-minute time frame, it looked like we're just coming back down to retest the 10 SMA and the 50 SMA on the 15-minute time frame. So I wasn't too worried because first of all, my entry was at 98.61, right? And I had a stop loss of about $1. And we weren't even close to move lower to the low of the day on Monday, which was 97.31. Or we weren't even close to the intraday support of 97.85. So I had nothing to worry about. And if my stop loss was triggered, well, I'll have to get out. Okay, it's as simple as that, guys. Really. All you need to do is be prepared and formulate a game plan. Now, as we start to bounce away from the 15-minute 10 and 50 SMA after retesting it, we continue to shoot up higher and higher and higher, and ultimately, after nearly 2 hours, okay, at 10:38 a.m., I said you can exit here as a 30% plus day trade. Okay, and the 2 out of 2 meant that I had sent in another day trade earlier in the morning previous to Amazon, which is the reason why I said there are 2 wins. Okay, but that's a quick explanation there if you guys are wondering why I said 2 out of 2. But with this trade here, okay, I told these, I told the day traders in my CFO Discord to exit if they wanted to, because if they felt comfortable with this gain here of 30% plus, which is amazing, first of all, okay, I said that, well, you guys can get out. And at 10:38, where was the candlestick, right? So why did I say to exit here for my day traders? So let's go down to the 5-minute time frame again. Okay, now mind you guys, I was looking at the 15-minute time frame for the rest of the day on this specific Amazon trade. Okay, and I'm just going down to the 5-minute time frame to give you guys more details. So at 10:38 a.m., if I can find the candlestick here, okay, so this was the candlestick that formed right here. All right, and we're able to get out around $100, right? So as we are pushing towards this psychological 100 triple digit whole number level, I said, take some profits, right? This is a great area to take some profits into strength, right? And the price has been moving higher with higher highs and higher lows. And if we decide to reject off of that $100 level, since we have broken it to the downside and we're now going to use it as a potential level of resistance, it might be a good day or good time, to exit out of these contracts, especially since it is a weekly expiration. Okay, so that's the reason why I told my day traders in the CFO Discord to exit for 30% plus gains. So this was an amazing day trade. However, a little disclaimer here. Okay, I did not exit because I want to see if there is still more juice left for Amazon. And so, obviously, in hindsight here, if you go back to the 15-minute time frame, we flushed at the end of the day. And if you guys remember, on my most recently uploaded video, so the video that's before this video that you guys are watching right now, I told you guys about my SPY put hedge. And that was the time, okay, where we saw that flush coming in on Monday to the downside. And that was the main reasons why I got a SPY put hedge, because I had Amazon longs. So everything has come into full circle. And I also had a couple other longs, but I won't be talking about that because those are only restricted to and available to my CFO Swing and Watch members. Okay, so Amazon here, obviously we decided to fall back down, retest the 99 or 98.85 level of resistance, and ultimately we ended up closing below this level. However, we still didn't close anywhere near my $1 stop loss from my entry point of 98.61, okay, or 0.60, doesn't really matter. But with Amazon here, all right, I was able to hold through Amazon because of the fact that I had my Amazon put hedge, right? And that's the reason why we always want to have insurance. And if you guys are wondering what happened to my Amazon, my SPY put hedge, I was able to get out with huge losses in the fact that it was a very, very small risk, but it was about 90% loss, right? And obviously, like I said, make sure you guys go back to the previous video because I break down on why I got that SPY put hedge, okay? But it was a 90% loss on that SPY put hedge. And remember, it's an insurance, right? Percentage-wise, it's a very huge loss. But the actual money amount that was lost was very, very minuscule compared to the amount that was made on Amazon. And that's how you correctly use hedges, especially when you're using SPY puts as a hedge trade. Okay, so now excuse my tangent here, but let me go ahead and take a look at our exit that we got this very morning. So here's a screenshot. On 6:19 a.m., okay, so right before the market was open, I said Amazon is so close to being in the money. And I said it should be up nicely at open. And guess what? We had a nice pump right before market open. Okay, so on this candlestick right here, okay, I said I took profit at the retest of the daily 21 SMA for 180%. And that was at 6:35 a.m. precisely. So if I go back to the 5-minute time frame, okay, I got out, okay, right around here, okay, but I was so busy managing my positions, and you guys will see later on in this video when I show you guys my CFO Discord again. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek on CFO Discord. I was very, very busy today because I was managing so many positions, and I was opening up and closing some positions as well. All right. So Amazon here, thankfully, I was able to give my CFO Stream Watch members a little bit of a heads up before market open, saying that these will be in the money potentially at market open. So obviously it wasn't, since my strike was 104, but it was very, very close, right? But thankfully I sent in that message because a lot of people were able to take in those profits. Well, hopefully, right? So certainly I did around 103.35-ish. Okay, so this is where I got out right after market open. And on the daily time frame, if we go back, okay, right, so once we retested the 21 SMA around 103.35, I immediately got out. All right, so obviously we had a little tiny pump to the upside after market open, but you know what? I'll take 180%, a triple digit return on any day. Okay, I'm completely satisfied with taking Amazon for 180% for a 2-day swing, or just simply an overnight swing. So I am happy that I was able to hedge yesterday, and I was happy that I wasn't able to use that hedge fully, right? Because remember, a hedge is an insurance that you don't want to use at the end of the day, okay? And that's what happened here. And instead, my long plays here, my long trades worked out perfectly, all right? So make sure you guys take a look at the most recently uploaded video, other than this one right now that you guys are watching, before you guys watch this video, all right? Or watch the rest of this video, okay? All right, so I want to go over now the 2-day trades that we did on SPY. So if you go on the 15-minute time frame, all right, so I absolutely sniped SPY today. And if you guys take a little tiny peek at my Instagram story, I kind of joke around about the SEC coming for me for a second time because I nailed SPY on Monday and today. Okay, but this time around I nailed SPY 2 times, one to the upside and one to the downside. So let me go ahead and take a look at the first trade, which was to the upside. So what was the trade that I sent in for today? So at 8:16 a.m., okay, I said SPY biggest risk today, 404 calls expiring on November 16th, which is tomorrow on the date of this recording. And I said it can be treated as a day trade or a swing trade. Keep a very, very tight stop loss. So why did I say this? Why did I say to keep a very tight stop loss? Well, first of all, it's risk management, right? It's always good to have a very tight stop loss, especially when that specific option contract is very, very risky. So on SPY here, what was I looking at? Well, I was looking at one level only, the $400 psychological level, right? Just like on Amazon with that 100 or $100 psychological level. So SPY here, this 400 level, we are using it as a level of support multiple times throughout the day after market open, okay? And we continued to stay on top of the 10 and 21 SMA on the 15-minute time frame, even after retesting it multiple times. And so I said, okay, this might be very high risk, but I do want to take in this small risk here to try to see if we're able to move away from 400 after retesting the $400 level multiple times since market open. And that's the reason why I got into very out the money 404 calls that expire on November 16th. And if you take a look at this specific candlestick, all right, let me make sure to give you guys more data as usual. On the 5-minute time frame, okay, I decide to get in a little bit early again. Okay, so I'm taking even more risk on this already heavily high risk trade. So at 8:16, all right, I decide to get in right here at the retest of the $400 level. But to be realistically speaking, I was filled around 399.90ish. Okay, so as we start to move away after kind of peaking below 400 here, I said, you know what? Let me get in, right? Let me have this very, very risky, but it could be worth the risk here for a day trade. And I decided to get in. So as we're moving away from the low point of this candlestick, we ended up closing on the 5-minute here above 400. And so after that, it was history. Okay, so on the 15-minute time frame, I just waited until the 15-minute candlestick, which was this one, closed, and then the next one appeared. Okay, at 8:30, we saw a incredible bounce with a higher volume coming in compared to the previous 15-minute time frame candlestick here. And I was thankful for that because, well, we pushed up higher and higher and higher, ultimately going past the high of the previous 15-minute candlestick. And then it looked like we're about to retest an intraday level of resistance around 401.40. And as we retested this one, okay, the 401.40, this is where I said to take off this SPY call trade. At 8:38 a.m., so it's a very, very quick trade. I say take profits when you see fit, but I'm taking it off at 26% plus. So 8:38 a.m., remember that. If you go back in the 5-minute time frame, I got out on this candlestick. So I got out right over in this area right here. Okay, so somewhere around 401.30. All right, that's what I remember. And this was a great day trade on my part. And I'm sure my other CFO Swing Watch members were able to take a better profits and a better exit than me on this specific SPY call trade. But either way, 26%, okay, was an amazing return for such a short-term day trade or scalp right after my Amazon swing trade, which I took profits on right after market open. All right, so this is an amazing day trade to the upside. But little did I know, okay, this is where my second day trade on SPY comes in. So SPY here, after I took profits, I decided to look away from SPY for just a little bit. And I came back around the middle of lunchtime, and I said, so SPY is continuously making lower highs here, and I drew this descending level of resistance and showed it to my CFO Swing Watch members. You guys will be seeing it in the Discord here soon. So I said, all right, it's either a make or break moment here for SPY at $400 after making lower highs like this. And it seems like we're making also a descending triangle, which is inherently a bearish chart pattern. And we're using the psychological $400 level of support as a very, very significant level for buyers to hold or for sellers to come in. And I sent in a message saying that there is a potential for us to flush below 400. So it might be a good idea, it might be wise to grab some SPY puts, some out the money SPY puts. All right. And luckily for me, okay, obviously not luckily for the people who were killed in Poland, all right, we got news that Russia had striked Poland, essentially, right? Or there are rumors because a missile came down, or maybe broken parts of a missile had came down in Poland, right at the border between Poland and Ukraine, and it killed 2 Poland citizens. And right when we got that news, we flushed, right? However, the funny thing is, I did not know about this news, right? And I just thought that we were just, reacting off of this $400 level. And I wasn't really expecting any type of big news to happen. And I just thought that this was just a simple a technical thing here where sellers were just pushing in after buyers were not able to hold the $400 level proficiently. And ultimately, on the 15-minute time frame, we pushed lower and lower and lower and lower, and that allowed us to get a very, very amazing percentage here on SPY. Okay, so now I'll show you guys the Discord here, the actual Discord. All right, so here it is. So this is where I gave my CFO Stream Watch members the chart that I just drew for you guys here again. All right, and right after I gave this chart, we started to flush, and I was not aware of that catalyst, that news that came out about Russia potentially having attacked Poland. And we started to flush below 400. And I started to give more updates and more updates. And this is the reason why I said the SEC might be coming for me twice for this week, because I was able to get in on SPY before the sell-off happened for both days, on Monday and today. Right? And with my SPY puts, I ultimately saw a return of 116% plus. And instead of going all out on my puts, okay, I changed my mind, okay, and I only took out half. And I was thankful that I only took out half because we kept on flushing. And I just didn't even think about the fact that there could have been news. And I didn't check for any type of news on any social media network. And I continued to hold and hold and hold. And I told my CFO Stream Watch members that I personally got the very out the money 385 puts that expire on November 18th. Okay. And the reason why I chose such out the money contracts is that if I saw a large flush to the downside, these very, very cheap and very volatile contracts will move a lot. And thankfully, I was able to profit off of that large movement for these puts here, because it was such an out the money contract and it was very, very volatile. So as we continue to flush lower and break into new low of the day, okay, I said that we can go down to 392.50 if we really wanted to, which was a Monday level support here. Okay, so right over here. Right, so excuse me guys, 396.50 is what I was trying to say. That's a mistype. So 396.50. Okay, so that was clearly a mistype here, so my apologies. So 396.50, but you know what, my CFO Stream Watch members knew what I was saying, hopefully. But this is a level that I was looking at for a potential bounce to the upside. However, we only saw a very micro jump to the upside once we reached that 396.50 area. And as we continue to move lower, right, my runners were up 190%. And we kept on going and going and going. Okay, and ultimately I said, you know what, I might keep the SPY runner as a hedge overnight if we continue to sell off like this. And I gave another update here, and I said we retested the previous low of the day. Okay, and at that point, my returns were nearing 200% as we were about to retest the previous low of the day of 394.83. Right? So this is very, very surprising for me. All right, I did not expect such a large movement, well, because I didn't know there was news. Okay. And as we continue to move lower, all right, okay, I said ultimately, all right, I want to see another bounce at the previous low of the day. And guess what? That's what we got. Okay, so hopefully I was able to show you guys everything here, okay, as slow as possible. But if you guys want me to go over it again, let me go right back up and then show you guys where it all started. So right over here. Okay. And we continue to flush. All right. And ultimately, this is exactly what we did, right? And we retested PLOD and we held it and then we bounced, right? And I ended up with 215% as I saw us going down and down and down, and I got out around this area right over here. All right. So that was an amazing, amazing movement to the downside. And I was able to capture some amazing profits for this week already. And it's only Tuesday, right? So anything can be possible is what I'm saying here, right? And, you know, the other thing about this SPY put trade to the downside was that I was looking at the bond markets. And even before SPY lost 400 officially, I saw that the bond prices suddenly just shot down, right, from highs. And I was like, whoa, 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 wait a second. What's going on here, right? So I was being a bit frantic here to go back to SPY and see what was going on. And thankfully, I was able to very, very quickly go into SPY puts, those 385 puts that expired this week on November 18th. And I was able to get that 215% return because of the bond markets telling me that there could be a larger flush on SPY below 400, and also thanks to the catalyst that we had of Russia and Poland. Okay, but obviously my condolences to the 2 Poland citizens that were killed in that missile strike. All right, so that is it for this video. All right, if you liked what you heard, please leave a thumbs up down below. And if you're new here, check out the description box below with all the links provided in there for any type of information that you want to know about us. And make sure to subscribe. I will see you all in another video. Thank you so much for watching.